By the pricking of my thumbs, something chocolate this way comes. Today is going to be a good day. I've got a fabulous recipe for you, and it comes with a little story. Many years ago, long before I started on YouTube, I used to work in a supermarket, and it was a long, hard job, and it would leave me very stressed at times. But when I was really stressed out, what I would do is at the end of the shift, I'd go to this cool little muffin shop next door. They'd get the speciality of the house. It was their double chocolate muffin, and it was fantastic with a cup of coffee. It was a thing of beauty. Beautiful big chunks of chocolate on the inside and on top. It was absolutely glorious. But unfortunately, that shop, it no longer exists, and while there are a lot of muffin places around, none of them seem to have really got that one fabulous chocolate muffin. So I decided to come up with my own version. I spent ages trying to perfect the recipe, and I think I pretty much got it perfect. So check out these beautiful double chocolate muffins on the One Pot Chef. First things first, we're going to start on our dry ingredients. So into a mixing bowl, I've got 1.5 cups of self-raising flour. Now, if you can't get self-raising flour where you live, or if you just don't have any, you can use regular plain all-purpose flour and simply add in 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. That'll give your muffins the little bit of lift they need. I'm also adding in 1 cup of caster sugar or superfine white sugar, and 1/2 cup of good quality unsweetened cocoa powder. Now, it is kind of important to go for a better quality cocoa because the cheaper ones tend to be less intense in flavour, and they often have extra things added to them, which isn't really great because it sort of dilutes the flavour. You really want that good quality Dutch cocoa if possible, and try to avoid using any cocoa that's got any kind of sugar or sweetener in it because we've already got sugar in our mixture. We don't need any extra. And to make our muffins extra chocolatey, I've got some semi-sweet dark chocolate. I've got a 200 gram block, which I have just roughly chopped, and I'm putting in half of the chunks into our batter, and I've got the other half which I'm going to leave aside for the moment. And all we need to do is just mix these together until they're combined. That's looking good. We're just going to set this aside while we work on our wet ingredients. For our wet ingredients, it's very simple. I've got a mixing jug, and to that I'm going to add in 1 cup of buttermilk. Now, buttermilk, if you're unfamiliar, is basically a kind of milk that's got a added culture like yogurt or sour cream. It makes it a little bit thicker. It gives it a slightly more acidic flavour. It's great for adding into things like cakes and muffins because it makes the muffins lighter and fluffier. It also helps to keep them nice and moist in the centre. If you don't have buttermilk or you can't get it where you live, it's very easy to make a substitute. You simply measure out 1 cup of full cream milk and then add in 1 tablespoon of either lemon juice or white vinegar. Give it a stir together, let it sit for 5 minutes on the counter, and it's a pretty good substitute. Now, to our buttermilk, I'm going to add in some butter. I've got 80 grams of butter which I've just melted, and 1 egg. And just using my big butch pink whisk, I'm just going to whisk those together until they are combined. That looks good. Don't worry if it looks a bit lumpy or curdled, that's perfectly fine. Back to our dry ingredients, we're just going to make a little well in the centre, and we're going to pour the wet ingredients into the centre like so. And all we need to do is just gently and carefully mix this together. Now, with a muffin batter, it's not like making a cake batter. You don't want to beat the living hell out of it like it owes you money. What you want to do is just do it gently, slowly, and just until it's just combined. So it should be just enough that it's together and everything's moistened. It doesn't matter if the mixture is lumpy. You just want everything to have been moistened and just mixed together. So that's just about there now. You can see there's still a little bit of dry stuff there. We just want to get that moistened. But this lumpy mixture, which would look terrible as a cake, is going to make fantastic muffins. And all we need to do is divide this batter between the holes of a 12-hole muffin pan, which I have just lined with some paper cases. You remember the rest of that chopped up chocolate? Well, we're just going to pop that on top of each of these muffins, and we're just going to carefully press it down so they stick on top. And our chocolate muffins are ready to go into the oven. Preheated oven, 200 degrees Celsius, 400 degrees Fahrenheit, for about 20 minutes. Our chocolate muffins have just come out of the oven and they look absolutely phenomenal, and the whole kitchen smells like chocolate. Chocoholics are going to die. You're going to love this. Now, what you want to do is leave the muffins in the pan for at least 10 minutes. We're going to let them cool. They're going to finish cooking on the inside, and then you'll be ready to eat them. Dark, sweet, with an absolutely amazing cocoa flavour. These beautiful chocolate muffins are guaranteed to please. What's fantastic about these, you don't have to do anything else to them. You can have them just like this, but if you wanted to take them to the next level, you could put a little swirl of chocolate frosting on top if you wish. These are just sinful. Oh my. I cannot believe how gorgeous these turned out. Just absolutely thing of beauty. You got those lovely chunks of chocolate on top, and you've got them all on the inside too. Alright, I'm gonna have a bite. Oh my god. So you got chocolate chunks all through it. It's moist, it's fluffy and light, but kind of dense at the same time in the inside. It's sort of like cross between a muffin and mud cake. No, I'm gonna have to go back in. Heaven. The top of the muffin is lovely and crisp, and you've got those lovely chunks of chocolate on top. The interior is moist, it's beautiful and fluffy, but it's got that density to it as well. This is absolutely fantastic. You are going to love these muffins. Well, I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Check out my other videos at OnePotChefShow.com. And until next time, see you later. If you're worried you're not going to be able to eat 12 of these really, really naughty chocolate muffins, don't panic, because they are fully freezable. Simply allow the muffins to cool completely, and then you can just sling them into some Ziploc bags and stick them in the freezer for up to 12 months. So you can take them out anytime you want. They don't take long to defrost, or if you're really impatient, you can sling them into the microwave and warm them up, and they'll be lovely and warm and taste just as fresh as the moment they came out of the oven.